Go.
We will begin. Get a lot in 25 minutes.
I know you did. We'll begin with Q&A, questions, comments, recommendations, and so forth. We'll take the next 10 minutes to do that, and we'll start now.
Again, I just want to say you were one of the ones who I have got to share the privilege of being in 714 with. And so I was able to see your project, from the conception and even prior to that. And so you did a great job. I thought it was very clear, informative, and engaging. I think that this is a product that has a real clear need, and you did a great job of using stats to sort of highlight that need. I love your inspirational theme songs that you were going to use, and I really loved how you incorporated UDL not only in your work but in the way that you presented your project by using the closed captioning. So it's really, and for me, when you talked about people who have visual impairments, and you included that as well as those with hearing impairments, I really like that because my daughter's legally blind, and I find that a lot of people don't attune to that. So I really loved your entire project. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Great job. I absolutely, this is one of my favorite topics. And seeing it come to light really, it does something for me. I love that you were very, intentional about everything, and it shows how much you really pay attention to certain details. And so I think that that's amazing. And I think it's a necessary, Black women in leadership, it's always needed someone to help bring us forward, because you don't get that a lot. And I think it's going to be a great opportunity for some individuals.
Thank you.
Yes, Nicole, your attention to detail is unmatched. And that is an area that I am trying to get better at. So I really appreciate how concise and specific you were. And you left room for, you broke everything down, which I feel like is a great quality in a facilitator and in someone who is leading others. So excellent job.
Thank you.
Hi, Nicole. Hi, Latoya. I'm so glad to be in the space with you. I remember, our first conversation. So I am really excited to see you come this far. That 5 to 7 hours, my girl, what do we do? Is there a makeup component? I mean, you got my Black girls out here. We do all things like raise kids, run businesses. I just wanted to know, is there a makeup session maybe, or is something they can pick up somewhere? I know the outcome is dependent on what they put in, but I just wanted to know what kind of plan, if any, did you have around that?
So I had originally planned on making this a 12-week program, and I was only going to make it 2.5, 3 hours. And then when I looked at the new updates that, that were saying 5 hours, I said, I have to develop all this curriculum. But I did not read it correctly, because then I developed too much content. So now we have 5 to 7 hours of things. So I'm thinking of, that's where that longitude study is going to come in place. So based off of the feedback, so I'm going to be launching it in 2 things. I'm going to offer a membership program that the graduates will be in, and then I will be dropping content throughout. And then after those 6 months to a year, they can then enroll into the part 2 if they're interested. So I think that'll be another way too to kind of gauge more information from them. And that way, if they miss a session, they don't feel like they're way behind.
Thank you for that. I think that's an important piece of the critical examination that you just explained to us. Thank you.
Fantastic work. I loved hearing all of that and all the statistics and detail you gave about why you picked what you picked and how you incorporated that. The part I thought was especially interesting and clever, again, I have to write things down or I'll forget 5 minutes later, was how you took the Kirkpatrick model and worked backwards from level 4. I thought that was especially creative. So excellent job.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. I'm holding my breath, Dr. Wright. I'm gonna see what you're gonna say. You got us all on that. Let me drink my water first.
Well, I must concur with Ms. Amy. I love the way that you use the backward design, which is an approach in education and content development and curriculum development, and utilized it as you talked about your evaluation and really, visually walked us through that process. That was amazing. So that was really good. Just again, like Ms. Tete, providing us with, rich examples and the supporting literature to help us to understand how this informed your understanding of what the purpose was, your methods, your steps, your activities, and Mr. Tyler did the same thing as well, and really addressing some of the advanced knowledge. And for me, which is important, conceptually showing how you were able to apply it, right, and how it informed what you were doing. So that was really refreshing to hear as well, in terms of your analysis. And like Ms. Ford pointed out, using the data to also support your position and help us to understand the background. Why is this important, right? Because, we could say, so what? Okay, Black women leadership, what does that mean? Okay, everybody's trying to do something in that. But you had supporting data, which was good, so I really appreciate that. Only question I had, and you may have mentioned that, in terms of the dissemination plan, how are you going to do that? I know you probably discussed, I probably missed it.
Yeah, so I was hiring a marketing specialist because we can't do all the things, right? We're following self-care, like Ms. Smith said. So hiring a marketing specialist was going to do the SEO workup, and then I was going to reach out to NABSW and NASW, as well as the National Organization of Women Leaders, and disseminate my information, and as well as Facebook groups. So I run a social work Facebook group that has over 21,000 social workers. So I was going to drop that content in there too and see if I can gather and engage some people. So if anybody wants to join that, cheap plug.
Which group is that?
It's a network on social workers, MSW, BSW, PhD, and the both past and current NASW and NABSW presidents are in there. So I kind of fangirled out for a second.
The other thing too, your attention to detail, that's a gift. Not everyone has that. That was great. Excellent. And I would also say, I really appreciated how you were able to, like Ms. Tete did as well, and Mr. Tyler, to really help me to understand what it means for social work practice, what it means for teaching, and definitely how your project ties to leadership, right? Because, these three components are important to this program. And for me, you have to be able to talk about those things and demonstrate your understanding of the time you spent here and how does it all tie into that. And obviously DPAR, as you talked about the different things you did that Ms. Ford mentioned as well. So I really appreciated that. And, you talked about field and how this would help field instructors and students and so forth, because this is important. And obviously a discussion on leadership, because I think oftentimes in social work, the training is in practice, but, we don't have an deep understanding of social work as leaders. And, I like the way how you really tied that into your discussion as well. So other than that, I have no other questions for you, actually. I thought it was, well done. You did the work in terms of going over this. You were very comfortable with your presentation, and it was very clear. It was very concise. You covered everything I thought that you needed to cover. You provided rich examples to help us to understand visually what this would look like. So that was good. I have no other questions for you, actually.
Thank you. For myself. Thank you.
So